Oi, gente, boa tarde. Eu coloquei um recado aqui embaixo. O país que deveria ser o primeiro a apresentar, ele mandou uma mensagem há pouco tempo avisando que eles não vão poder mais fazer a apresentação. E para quem estava aqui ontem, a Nigéria acabou não conseguindo apresentar e ele pediu para tentar apresentar hoje. Então, como teve essa abertura de horário, a gente deixou para ver se ele consegue fazer a apresentação hoje. Eu já fiz uns testes, parece que agora vai dar certo, a gente só precisa esperar ele entrar. Como não é dessa programação, o formulário de presença ele só vai ser enviado no momento da apresentação do Egito. Então vai ser uma na apresentação do Egito, o formulário inicial, e uma na apresentação da Ruanda, o formulário final. Então, se vocês entraram aqui querendo ver a outra apresentação, que vai acabar não tendo, não é obrigatório ficar nessa para vocês conseguirem ganhar um certificado. E daí eu vou deixar a tela de descanso agora, e quando a pessoa da Nigéria conseguir conectar, aí eu volto e a gente começa a apresentação. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I will just say some things in Portuguese, okay?
All right,
Then
that's
I
good.
will introduce you. Então, ontem, como a gente teve um problema na apresentação da Nigéria e hoje a gente teve o cancelamento da primeira apresentação, eu conversei com o Nel da Nigéria e acabou que deu certo a apresentação dele agora. Como eu tinha dito antes, o formulário de presença ele só vai ser enviado na apresentação do Egito. Então, caso você não tenha interesse em ver essa apresentação, como está sendo diferente do que estava na programação, você não precisa assistir ela, você pode voltar depois para do Egito. E a gente vai começar agora a da Nigéria, e depois disso a gente vai seguir o calendário normal. Okay, so would you like to introduce yourself?
All right. Um, Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Lawan Abdulrazak Ali, a final year medical student from Bayer University, Kano, in Nigeria, and I'm the National Exchange Officer for NIMSA, Nigeria. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure meeting you all. Yes, I think that's all about the introduction.
Okay, you can start with your presentation.
All right. So NIMSA, let me just give you a brief overview regarding NIMSA. NIMSA stands for the Nigerian Medical Student Association, and it is the official umbrella association of all medical students in Nigeria, and even those of Nigerian origin but studying in the diaspora. So it was established in 1968, and it's the student arm of the Nigerian Medical Association, which was established in 1960. Leadership structure in NIMSA is such that we have the president, the vice president internal, and the vice president external affairs, and we have 9 standing committees. That's the 6 adopted from IFMSA and the other 3 that are peculiar to our own NMO. And like NIMSA is the official medical student association, is official national member of organization of Nigeria recognized by the IFMSA, and it's the only one we have in Nigeria. So all other appointees, of course, are appointed by, other positions are appointed by the president as necessary. So one of such standing committee is the Standing Committee on Professional Exchange, of which I'm the director and serving as the National Exchange Officer General. So just a brief overview about Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in the sub-Saharan Africa, part of West Africa to be specific, and we have a population of an estimated population of about 210 million as at 2020, and it's the 7th most populous country in the whole world, first in Africa. We have a population distribution of about 50-50 in urban and the rural areas, and 923,769 square kilometer of area for the whole country, which is just about the size of Caruaru, right? The largest city in Brazil. So life expectancy in Nigeria is 57 years for males and 60 years for females. And Nigeria has the largest economy and the most developing one in the whole of Africa. The health system in Nigeria is that of a clear example of such found in a developing country, and in which it focuses on the implementation of primary health care. However, 50 years, almost 50 years after the Alma Ata, we are still not yet there, but we are working on it. Nonetheless, it is so interesting that it will amaze you how the healthcare providers are really working under limited resources to efficiently and effectively provide adequate care despite all challenges. Aspect of making accurate diagnosis without the need for sophisticated investigations is very common around here. And majority of our disease conditions were communicable. However, recently we are seeing a surge in non-communicable disease, maybe due to almost a 50-50 ratio, maybe due to lifestyle changes and industrialization, or due to the increased urbanization, something like that. This is just a small I will have to say about the health system. It's really a very strong and resilient one. Looking at how we were able to tackle the recent Ebola virus crisis we had around 2016, and how we were able to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, and how we were able to achieve eradication of polio, it's kind of very amazing. I have to say we are really trying hard. Medical education in Nigeria has also seen tremendous improvement over the years. It was first introduced in the 19th century by the British colonial masters. However, currently we have around 50 medical schools which are registered and recognized by the Nigerian Medical Student Association. These 50 medical schools are distributed in around 36 states in the country and the federation. That's the Federal Capital Territory. And we have over 60,000 medical students. So this is just a brief overview about Nigeria and NIMSA. Now I would like to talk to you about the exchanges we have to offer in NIMSA. Lucas, can we go to the next page? All right. So the exchanges we have in NIMSA as in the IFMC, there is the SCOF exchanges, that's professional exchange, there is the research exchanges, there is public health exchanges, and then of course the reproductive health exchanges. However, in Nigeria, as at the moment in NIMSA, we don't actually have public health exchanges, so that's not working. And reproductive health exchanges are still incorporated as part of the work of professional exchanges. So these two are not really independent. And then research exchanges hasn't been active since the pandemic started because we are focusing on some internal modifications. Now, at the moment, I can only say that professional exchanges is the only active exchange we have in NIMSA. Regarding the professional exchanges, which I happen to be the National Exchange Officer, we have about 8 active local chapters. The University of Nigeria and Nsukka, the Lagos State University, the University of Lagos, which is a federal institution, and then we have the University of Calabar. We have also the Babcock, Benjamin Benkerson University in Nigeria, and then we have the University of Ilorin and the University of Calabar. These are the 8 active LOs, local chapters we have in Nigeria. Requirement for, we are still working on developing more so that we can offer more exchanges to see that we activate all other local chapters. However, these are the only few ones we have active at the moment. Requirement some is basically as we highlighted in the exchange portal. However, some local chapters might require you write a specific letter directed or addressed to the provost of the College of Medicine in the university, but that's not an issue. We try to maintain a good academic quality in our own exchanges in Nigeria, in the sense that we directly link you to world-recognized professors who have done a lot of publications and are recognized in the world of academia. So that's not a concern in Nigeria. We have a lot of resources, human resources to be specific. And when you come to Nigeria, culture is something we value very greatly, as there are about almost 100 languages or 100 ethnic groups in Nigeria, even though the main ones are 3 to 4, the Hausa, the Yoruba, we like to boast about, and we like to designate as a center for tourists for anyone coming for our exchanges. Social activities is kind of incorporated as part of tourism. We take people to and everything. If you are in Nigeria for an exchange program, we tend to take people each weekend for your whole 4 weeks stay. We will take you out each weekend, go for all social activities, tourism visits, historical centers, and the likes. Travel and logistics, we tend to provide travel arrangement from the moment you land in Nigeria. We will pick you up from the airport, take you to your own accommodation, and from there, your all travels from your accommodation to the teaching hospital where we'll be doing your exchanges is all at the cost of the hosting MSA. So we don't have an issue with that. And traveling in Nigeria is very easy. We have buses, we have trains, we have what do they call it, Okadas and everything. So travel is no difficult. However, we don't have electric trains or something like that. At the moment, there is, due to the recent surge in the Delta variant of COVID-19 in Brazil, Nigeria has placed a ban on issuance of visa to citizens or to people that have lived in Brazil over the past 14 days. So at the moment, we are having that trouble getting passengers or people coming to Nigeria from Brazil. However, there are recent development, and we are hoping that will be lifted very soon. So that wouldn't be another issue. Now, accommodation in Nigeria for exchanges, we usually accommodate people in our student hostels, sometimes in student flats. At times, the teaching hospital might provide an accommodation, their own accommodation for the exchange student, which is an additional cost. However, if an exchange student is interested in a specific accommodation or a 5-star hotel or something like this, we can arrange that, but that has to be at the cost of the exchange student. So, however, all other things are at the cost of the hosting embassy. And we provide feeding at least once daily for the exchange student. Pocket money for Nigeria, our currency, our local currency is the naira, and it's very strong currency to say. But at the moment, the naira is about equivalent to 450 naira, equivalent to $1. So getting that exchange is not that difficult. However, we tend to provide the logistics, and we even earmark some small amount of pocket money for our exchange student. In conclusion, it's really amazing to come for Nigeria for an exchange program because we have a lot of amazing things to offer, a lot of culture to experience, a lot of them. One thing I would just like to mention is that it has been quite of noticed in the recent medias that there are a lot of security issues in the country. However, I would like to mention that those security issues are only in some selected few parts of the country, and we try not to take our dear exchange students to those parts of the country. So staying in Nigeria can actually be very safe and very fulfilling. Let's just go through the documents. Next page, Lucas. Hello, Lucas. Next page. Next. Okay, so these are just some of the benefits of exchanges. It increases the mobility and widens the horizon of medical students worldwide. And when you come to Nigeria, you will experience that. And it will give you a chance to participate in a professional or research exchange, regardless of your geographical, political, financial, or any background. We don't discriminate in Nigeria. And it's provide medical students with the possibility to experience healthcare in another culture, healthcare in developed and developing countries. So in Nigeria, we provide that opportunity. You will see how people spend obtain healthcare from out-of-pocket payments and how some category of people have insurance. We all have, it's very wide and diverse that you will see all categories of people. And we provide possibilities for medical students to learn about global health issues, primary health concerns, and basic epidemiology. One very key stronghold of our own health system in Nigeria is that even at tertiary level, we tend to focus more on preventive medicine rather than curative. So it's very amazing how you will get to interact and see how our medical education is based on community-based medical practice. So it also enhances the academic quality of the medical student curricula and achieve educational benefit of practical and theoretical knowledge in the field of medicine and research. Next page, please. Next. Yes. Nigeria, we have been in strong relationship with them in Brazil. And it's something I noticed when I came into this office that we have been having different contracts and something I intended to keep in view, something we intend to maintain. Even at the moment, we have 2 signed bilateral contracts with Benin Brazil, and earlier this year we received application incomings from Brazil. However, even though one was supposed to start her own elective in early May, but she couldn't do that because of the recent travel restrictions and something like this. However, we are hoping that we will be able to reschedule and accommodate her in if things improve. I think next page. Okay, so that's basically all about exchanges in Nigeria. If you have any question, I will be very willing to entertain them. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Lawan. Now we will have a small section here that we will ask you some questions. The first one is, what are the main attractions in Nigeria?
Okay, so the main attractions in Nigeria include the tourist centers. We have the Yankari Game Reserve, we have the historical Daba in Kano, we have the Victoria Island, the Ikoyi Beach in Lagos, a lot of historical areas. We have the Calabar Reserve, a lot of historical areas that are a tourist attraction for incoming exchange students. I think these are something we can explore and take people to when we have incomings. Thank you.
All right. The next one is, do you think that English, that speaking English is enough to communicate in the hospital and in the everyday life?
Yes, even though we have 3 major ethnic groups, however, English is our own official language in Nigeria. And if you can speak English fluently, you will not have any problem with your stay in Nigeria. Almost 80 to 90% of the students of Nigeria can speak English very well. So it's a very good starting point for your communication in Nigeria.
All right. Can we participate in exchange research? How is the exchange of practical experiences?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Sorry?
I did not get the question. How is exchanging?
Can we participate in exchange research? I think it's core.
Research exchange. Yes, in research exchange at the moment in Nigeria, in NIMS Nigeria, is on hold. However, we are hoping that we will be able to make it active within the next few months. Right now, we will be discussing that in our next General Assembly in November. However, when the information is out to be released, we will make sure that it's posted in the IFMC website, and I will inform Lucas specifically. So I'm hoping we will be able to research exchange very soon. But
Okay.
on.
Oh, all right. Do you want to? We really want to thank you for your presentation. Do you want to say something here for people in Brazil?
Yes, I would like to say thank you very much for having me. I miss you. It's an awesome experience to be with you, and I look forward to visiting Brazil some time in the near future. Thank you all. Brazilians are amazing people. I have some interactions with some of them.
Thank you, Lawan, for your presence. Now we're gonna have Mohammed, which is going to tell us about the exchange program in Egypt. Welcome, Mohammed.
Hello. Thank you for having me. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for having me in this fair. I hope it will be beneficial to you guys all. And I have a presentation. I sent it to Locus. I don't know if he sent it to you.
Let me see here. Just a minute. He's going to project the presentation.
Great.
Just a moment. Thank you. He's having some problems with his internet connection.
No worries.
I'm going to project the presentation. Just a moment.
Okay.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So this is actually a welcome booklet we designed in IFMSA Egypt for all incoming students. You can see me and Nori Nafia and the team that's behind this booklet. We designed it specifically to like help every incoming in his journey throughout Egypt. It's has. Can you like return to the content? Like no, back.
You know,
Yeah, go back. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So it's like to get to know Egypt and about the weather, the currency, the COVID situations and regulations, airports, communication, transportation, Egypt healthcare, Egypt's must rights, and most importantly, of course, social program, and a summary about like tips and tricks, what to do, what to avoid in Egypt. Okay, you can move on. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so this is like some background about Egypt. You can like zoom in a bit. You can see like all the cities, like every city in Egypt has an LC. You can check it in our uh, IFMSA Explore page. Uh, HLC is located here in this picture. You can find out whether it's close to the capital, or if you want to know which airport is closer, or is it available to visit the like the social program or anything. Okay, next. Okay, demographics. We like usually talks about the type of people, the culture we have in Egypt. It's like very variant. We can have people with a lot of backgrounds. For religion, mostly it's Muslims, but we also have some Christians in Egypt. You can see like we have mosques and churches, and like people are very diverse in Egypt. Okay, next. Okay, this is the weather. You can like check which month you're coming in and see what's the weather like in that month. Usually, the summer is a bit hot in like July and August, but it doesn't like exceed 45 degrees Celsius, and the winter is not that cold, I think, like comparing to other winters in other countries. So it's like moderate weather. Like it doesn't need to be extreme clothing in the winter, or like it's maybe a bit hot in the summer only. You have like the next one, the next slide. It's about like or what's the months are like in spring, in summer, in autumn, and the one after is the clothes. You can like check the next one. Yeah, the type of clothes you'll need in uh, your stay in Egypt, like for winter and summer and so on. You can see like it's very regular. Okay, next. This is the currency, the money you'll be handling in Egypt, so you'll be familiar with it when you arrive. We have like 50 and 50 cents. Like it may be confusing. That's the only part, and like one and the 10, and that's it. Like they're usually easy to learn from like the first day. Okay, next. Yeah, these are some tips about like currency exchange and where you should exchange your money, and to avoid like exchanging a lot of money in the airports. It will be a bit expensive, some things like that, and like all the tips you'll need about uh, dealing with Egyptian currency to bring euros or dollars. That's like the main currency that's exchanged here. You can go next. Yes, that's like all in general main tips about currency. Bingo. Okay, for COVID regulations in Egypt, for now we only require the PCR for like 72 hours before her traveling. That's the main regulation about traveling. Not the vaccination card doesn't isn't sufficient. You'll still have to do the PCR also. So be ready with your PCR when you come, and it has to be like certified from the Ministry of Health. So they'll like pass it in the airports. Every airline company knows about the PCR, and they'll tell you which one you should get. So it's easy. Don't worry about it. Other COVID regulations is in the hospital. You'll have to like use your safety precautions, wear masks inside the hospital, and you have your sanitation kit with you all at all times. That's the regular COVID precautions we do. Airports, we have major airports in Cairo, Alexandria, and some touristic airports in Gurgada, Sharm el-Sheikh, Luxor, Aswan, and so on. If you're arriving in exchange, you're probably gonna go with Cairo or Alexandria. If you're applying for like Upper Egypt, the city, or you go for Asyut or Suhag, whichever closer to you, but the main ones are Cairo and Alexandria. You can go. Yes. These are like the communication companies you'll need when you arrive in Egypt. You'll download it like from the airports, or you can get it from the city you arrived in. It's everywhere in Egypt. Okay. These are just like main things you should know about them. Okay, you can go next. Yes. These are like 4 companies we have. Okay, next. Okay, for transportation, taxis are everywhere in every cities. And we also have Uber in Cairo and Alexandria. And there's another application called Karim, which is like similar to Uber, but you can use it in other cities other than Cairo. It's almost available in every other city. It's like the best trusted thing is to use Uber, uh, to know the fare, to know the destination. You'll have like easier communication with the driver. There are also many public transportations such as buses, metros, trains. It's everywhere. You can like ask your contact person about them. They'll show you the way. But if you want to depend on your own, you should like probably use the Uber. You can go next. We have like a train railway throughout Egypt from like the highest to the lowest point. It's like reliable and we use it all the time. Me, as a person here, always use the train. It's very comfortable and it may get a little bit delayed to the schedule, but it's not that big of a deal, you know. Okay. For this is like some topics you should learn about public health in Egypt, universal health coverage, like some numbers you should learn about before you enter the hospitals and you go for your academic quality and for the scientific. You should like if you guys are interested in these topics, you should read it for me. Okay, you can go. Yes, there are other topics about health and mortality and diseases. It is like some major information about public health in Egypt. Okay, um, that's okay. It's like you can go next. Yes, must tries. These are foods or which are popular in Egypt. Kushari, which is like a combination of rice, pasta, onions, lentils. You know, anything you can find. It's combined all in one dish with tomato sauce and so on. Falafel, probably you know it. It's very popular even outside the Middle East. Kofta is grilled minced meat. It's usually barbecued. These are like the must tries food in Egypt. If you didn't try them in Egypt, then you didn't come. Okay, you can go next. Also, we have molokhia, which is like a green soup. Maybe some people call it green soup. Mahshi is similar with other European countries. It's like stuffed vegetables. You can have it. And shawarma, I think everybody knows shawarma with the big meat on the steak, you know. It's very popular. Okay, when you are in Egypt, you should always check the local cafes, which is like the very most authentic thing you can do. It's called like Ahwa Baladi, which means local cafe. And the Nile side, the Corniche, it's like wonderful to see in almost every city in Egypt. We have a Nile going through them. And the Fluka, which is like a small boat with music and dancing. It's a very cultural and like folk music thing. And you'll find it very fun and very interesting to do. These are like top picks for what to do in Egypt. And this is a social program. We have a lot of stuff to do in Egypt, like in all the cities. We have in Cairo, you'll have a program to fit you the whole month, but of course we won't want you to spend the whole month in Cairo. There's other places to see. So the LC you'll be in will try to get you to visit Cairo, Alexandria, Dahab, Siwa, Luxor, Aswan, depending on the month and depending on the national weekend. Of course, we have one in July. It's in Siwa, and August is in Dahab. And other cities will be offered within the local social program in this LC. For the Cairo, you'll see the picture here is for Cairo Tower, which is like in the center of Cairo, main tourist attraction. And you can go next. And other, you have the pyramids, of course. Who doesn't know the pyramids? If you didn't know them, then you should probably not come to Egypt. It's like the main tourist attraction in the old Middle East, of course. And you have a next. You can go next. We have the churches, the mosque, the local market, the places which are old Cairo and Islamic Cairo, and filled with uh, cultural and religious compounds, and a lot of areas to visit and take a lot of good photos. You can go next. Yes, these are the museum. We have a new museum and an old museum. For the new museum is located near the pyramids. It's called the Grand Egyptian Museum. And for the old museum, it's located in downtown Cairo, in the center, which has all the uh, antique and all the pharaoh and mummies and all the things you want to see in Egypt. Okay, you can go next. And this is downtown Cairo, like busy with European style buildings, but it's in Egypt, so you'll find it like very interesting to walk around the streets, especially at night. It has a lot of shops, a lot of good food, and you'll find it very fun to walk around at night. It's my favorite place actually in Cairo. So you can go next. Yes, this is the religious compound I was talking about. It has a lot of churches and temples and mosques. Okay, go next. Yes, these are more pictures from Islamic museums and other historical places you can find in Cairo. Azhar Mosque, temples, castles, a lot of stuff you can find in Cairo. Okay, next. This is Alexandria, located like north of Egypt on the Mediterranean Sea. It's famous. Sorry, it's famous for its Nile sea view, and the Corniche there is absolutely stunning. And this is like Stanley Bridge. It's one of the most famous bridges in Alexandria. Next, you'll have the Kutaibai Castle, which is a famous historical castle used to defend Alexandria in like past times. And this is the Biblioteca Alexandrina. It is like the public library of Alexandria, which has a lot of cultural and a lot of great architectural value and historical value to Alexandria. Okay, I can go next. This is Luxor. the center point of old ancient Egypt. You'll find all temples and mummies and like all the historic hieroglyphic sites there in Luxor. It's near to it. There is Aswan also. Luxor has a lot of interesting temples and a lot of interesting historical sites. You can see pictures of them. Next. Yes, this is the Valley of the Dead. This the Valley of the Kings. Sorry, which has like the old temples of pharaohs that used to live in the old ancient Egypt. Next. This is the Temple of Karnak and the Temple of Luxor. Also very, very interesting, very like very ancient places in Egypt. Next. This is the museum in Luxor. You can like it's smaller than the museum in Cairo, but it also has a lot of mummies and pharaohs and a lot of historical ancient things you'll find there. Okay, next. This is Hatshepsut, which is an old queen of Egypt. Okay, next. South Sinai, more specifically Dahab, is one of the points in Egypt on the Red Sea where you'll find snorkeling, diving, a lot of fishes, a lot of beaches, great water to swim in, to just relax. It's amazing. One of my favorite spots here in Egypt, actually. Okay, next. This is like diving. This is the Blue Hole, one of the most famous spots in the world for snorkeling and diving. And a lot of people loved the experience where you can actually be very close to the fishes and the reefs and all the amazing colors you'll see there. Next. This is one of the views you might see there. And we have the canyon, one of the hotspots in Dahab and South Sinai, where you can go hiking, take a lot of great photos with a lot of colors in the sky and the rocks, and everything there is so beautiful. Okay, next. Okay, this is the beaches, the Blue Lagoon and Abu Galloum, which are like just amazing views with a lot of colorful sky and sea. You can just sit there and relax. It's amazing. Okay, next. That's Sharm el-Sheikh, which is another touristic attraction in South Sinai. It has more of a city life like culture, but with beaches also and some historical sites. It's more of a touristic attraction than Dahab, but Dahab is like chilling and going snorkeling and diving and more activities than Sharm el-Sheikh. Next, Ras Muhammad, which is one of the resorts, natural resorts in Sharm el-Sheikh, where you can find a lot of diving, snorkeling, and many sea water activities there. Okay, next. Ni'ma Bay is like a center of Sharm el-Sheikh where you'll find cafes, restaurants, nightclubs. All the gatherings happen there in Ni'ma Bay, which is full of amazing nightlife there. You'll find it very fun to be around. Okay, next. This is more of Soho Square, another like gathering point in Sharm el-Sheikh with cafes and restaurant and malls, and it's very touristic to be there. Okay, next. This is Gurgada. It's also on the Red Sea, but not near to Sharm el-Sheikh or Dahab. It's another site in Egypt, in the south of Egypt. It's famous for the water there, the snorkeling, the similar, very similar to Dahab, with the diving and snorkeling, but with a different type of cult of architect. It's filled with hotels, and there's a city center with cafes and restaurants and everything. Okay. Yes, this is Marsa Alam, a city near Gurgada, which also has the same system, but it's filled only with hotels. There's no like city life there, and it's amazing water and sea and everything there is beautiful actually. Okay, next. Aswan, it's not on the Red Sea, it's actually in the south of Egypt on the Nile. It has a lot of different culture than the rest of Egypt because it has like different ethnicity of people called Nubian. They live there in villages and houses, and they have a lake there which is very beautiful with colorful houses and boats, and you can find the experience there very, very beautiful. Okay, next. These are temples inside of Aswan, which are ancient temples there. They're huge, actually. You can't see it in the photos, but comparing to a person, it will be like an ant standing to a person, you know. The temples there are really huge. It's called Abu Simbel. It's like 3 hours away from Aswan. So it's a like must visit place in Egypt. Okay, next. Yeah, this is the Philia temple. It's in Aswan also. It's like an island with a temple only in it. It's really, really beautiful there. Okay, next. That's the Nubian village I was talking about. Is very beautiful with very colors, and you can find people there with the local market selling spices, teas, herbs, everything that's very authentic and local. Okay, next. That's Siwa, which is a totally different city than the rest of the social program. It's more of a oasis desert type of tourist place with very, very authentic Egyptian people living there, and mainly like the old Arabs you see in movies and stuff with the white and the camels and everything you can see there. It has lakes and oases and islands, and it's very, very like deserty type of touristic places. Okay, next. You can see there the salt lakes, water lakes inside of salt mines, which are very, very cool to be in and to swim in. You can float there without knowing how to swim because of the salt. Okay, go next. Cleopatra Spring, which is like a natural spring of water. It's very refreshing to swim there, and the view there is absolutely amazing. Okay, next. The temples of Amun, which are all temples in Siwa. If you're interested in the historical part of Siwa, you'll find this really fun. I'm very excited about Siwa because the national weekend is coming soon here in Egypt in Siwa. So I'm like really prepared about it. Okay, next. Fatina's Island, the sunset there is absolutely stunning. You'll find a mixture of colors in the water and the sky, which is really, really beautiful. You won't want to miss it if you're there. Okay, next. Summary, if you could zoom in, maybe I can't like read from this. Just try to zoom in. Yes. Okay. We talked about the clothes. Is if you are in the cities, it's more likely to wear conservative clothes because the traditions and the people are not used to seeing a different type of clothing than what they normally see. So to avoid any like unwanted attention or anything, you'll have to wear more conservative clothes. Whether we talked about it, it may be hot in the summer in the southern regions, but the coastal areas has a cooler weather. Always contact your CP, ask them about anything. If you want to do any booking or you want to travel to any other cities, they'll help you. It's very easy to book anything here in Egypt. Uh, Try the local food. Don't stick to brands, McDonald's and KFC, and so they're everywhere. Yeah, but the local food has the best taste here in Egypt. Uh, for local transport, it's easier to get taxis or Ubers. For your SIM card, contact your contact person. You can get it from the airport or you can get it in the city where you stay. We talked about the currency to bring euros or dollars. You can pay in Visa or MasterCard or any credit card, but always carry cash because many shops don't accept Visas or credit cards. Bring your international student card, Isaac card. You can do it here in Egypt, but it will be better if you can do it before you come to Egypt. Always carry your passports. That's it. These are some testimonials of people who came here. Alejandro from Mexico. You can find from Denmark, Jenny, and I think there's someone from Brazil. Yeah, this is Mayara from Brazil in December, and this one is Rachel from Brazil. We have a lot of people coming from Brazil, so we're proud of that actually. So people always uh, be very happy at the end of the journey. Will be very remembering all of the amazing moment they have here. So they always recommend Egypt to their friends. So we're happy to continue this reputation for us in Egypt. Do you guys have any questions? Maybe I'm finished with the presentation. I'm all yours.
Thank you, Mohammed. We do have some questions here.
Where can we find this booklet? Okay, so if you are an incoming coming to Egypt this month or the next month or any month after, your Leo will send you this booklet. And if you can't find it, you can ask your CP about it and they'll send it to you. To Egypt? No, in Egypt, traveling is very cheap and very easy. If you want to book a train from, let's say, Cairo to Alexandria, it may cost around, let's say, 3 to 4 euros, maybe. So that's very cheap and it's air conditioned to be in the train. And if you want to book a bus, also it will cost the same or maybe a bit more expensive, but it won't exceed like 5 euros to travel from, let's say, Cairo to Alexandria, which is like the most popular destinations in Egypt. And the local taxis and the Ubers are very, very cheap. Can we stay on or can we stay on? Yes, as I said in the first page, we have a lot of LCs, like 25 LC in Egypt. Only 5 or 6 are located in Cairo. The rest are spread around Egypt in the north to the south. You can stay in other cities. You can find in the IFMSA Explore page all the cities with all the calendar of it and what months are they available. Recommend for internal medicine. Okay, every like most hospitals have a great internal medicine departments. You can like check uh, whether they have special things about internal medicine, but for my knowledge, all the cities have great internal medicine departments in Egypt because the doctors here are very, very interested about it, internal medicine. So you will find it very good to be in any city you want. Is more than one city? Yes. Every LC organizes trips. If you're outside of Cairo, you'll go to Cairo and Alexandria. And if you're inside of Cairo, you'll go also to Alexandria, Dahab, Siwa, Luxor, depending on which month you're arriving and the LC which provides the social program. So don't worry, you'll visit a lot of places in Egypt while you stay. Okay, we did offer SCOF programs, but after what happened with COVID and restrictions in the hospital and the oncology center, for now it's on hold until further notice. So we are not offering SCOF programs at this moment, but it may be reopened the next year. Okay, some universities do accept graduated students, but some of them may have restrictions about it. And if you are like recently graduating, is fine. But if you are graduating more than 6 months after you graduated, there might be some trouble to find a university to accept you in the scientific program. What do you think is the best one to go on exchange? You mean LC or best one? I don't know.
Well, I think it's like LC. You know,
Okay, I can't be biased to any LC, of course, because all of them are great and all of them offer great scientific and social programs. So you're in safe hands anywhere in Egypt. Don't worry about that.
okay.
Is the cost of living expensive? Okay, not very expensive. If you are like coming on exchange, you find it very cheap. But if you are living independently, it's a whole different story. But to be an exchange in Egypt is very, very cheap. So it's not expensive.
Okay.
Okay, yes, we accept couples, a group of friends. I always check whether people want to be placed together, and I do my best to put them together. So yes, we do accept.
Okay, that was all the questions, Mohammed. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you for having me, and this was an amazing experience, and I hope you guys all benefited from it. And if you don't mind, you can I take a like screenshot so I can post it on our Instagram page? Hey, Lucas, you can like
Oh,
can you take a screenshot because I'm using my phone?
yeah, sure. I will do it.
Eh, Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for the invitation. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I think that my internet's alive again now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you
if
so
you
much.
guys don't want anything, I'm gonna
Thank
let
you,
you go.
Mohammed.
Okay, bye.
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 A próxima apresentação é da Ruanda. Ele ainda não entrou na chamada. Ele mandou um vídeo para a gente conseguir passar enquanto isso. Eu vou colocar ele para passar aqui.
The world has gone quiet. Our borders have closed. The skies are empty, but our hearts beat loudly for connecting the world to our culture, our history, and our natural beauty. We stand for unity, for being together. That's why we know this difficult time will pass. And when it does, we'll greet our friends and family with the biggest smiles and the tightest hugs. We'll travel the world again, exploring new destinations, feeling that rush of adrenaline. We'll discuss matters of the world and exchange ideas. We'll dress up, go out, and taste new delights. We'll climb that mountain, swim those waters, and trek to experience the wonders of nature.
Ele já me enviou a apresentação, a gente só está esperando ele entrar na chamada. Eu já vou compartilhar. Hey, can you hear me?
Hello everyone.
Hello. So
Are you getting me?
Yeah. We are starting the Ruanda presentation. Would you like to introduce yourself and then start the presentation?
Okay. So as you saw it on your screen, my name is Shingaruguma Prince. I'm the National Exchange Officer in Medisa, Rwanda, and my presentation would be focusing on three main points. The first one, which is my country. I will start with my country. You will have to know more about Rwanda, and we proceed with our animal, which is Mitsa, and thereafter we continue with copy exchange. So you can proceed with the next page. Yeah, as you saw on the screens, I'll start with Rwanda. So next, please. Yeah, Rwanda is a landlocked country situated in the Central Africa, also known as the land of Thousand Hills. And the country lies in 75 miles south of the equator in the Tropic of Capricorn, and is 880 miles as the clone lies west of the Indian Ocean, and 1,050 miles east of the Atlantic Ocean, which is literally the heart of Africa. So the altitude ranges from 1,000 millimeter and 4,500 meter above the sea level. And I would like to tell you more about our country. Like our population is 12.10 millions, and our total area is 26,338 square per meter square. Our capital city is Kigali, and our official spoken language is Kinyarwanda, English, French, and Swahili, whereas our local currency is Rwandan francs, and euros and USD pound. So I would like to salute you in our mother tongue language. I would say Ngiriomute amakuru yanyu. So I know that is strange for you, but I was saying, how are you? How are you doing? How was your day? And the more about our country that I would like to share with you is that we're an estimated total population of 12.3 million people. That 50% of the Rwandan population is under 20 years old, with the median age standing at 22.7 years old. So Rwanda shares cultural values, notably as unity, patriotism, social cohesion, resilience, hardworking among the others. So next, please. So in Rwanda, we have our traditional music, dance, which make an integral part of our Rwandan ceremonies. As you saw on the first picture, those ladies are dancing. They tie all the clothes they are wearing. It's called umushayayo. And below there is inore. Inore is our male dancers, the traditional dancers. As you saw how they're happy they are. They have won the hearts of the cultured professional lovers. Next page, please. So a part of that, there is the Rwandan art craft, which is displayed high level of skills and creativity in the country of Thousand Hills. I didn't share it with you, but there is what we call agaseke, and the hand woven basket. I will offer it to someone who will come a country. So let's proceed with our president. As you saw screen, he is our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame. He is the president of the Republic of Rwanda. He has done many things, and you will know more according to our history. You will know for us, and he is the leader and the front of the development of our country. Next, please. Kigali. So, what's your impression, or what do you think about that image? So as Kigali, and you're starting to think about what is Kigali. So Kigali is the capital city of Rwanda. And the next page, please. The next page. Yeah. Sorry, back again. Back on the previous page. Yeah, there. Yeah, Kigali is ideally positioned in the center of Rwanda, and it extends across several hills and valleys, while a good road links to the rest of the country. Whereas the verdant capital city is pleasantly low-key yet dynamic and progressive, with just over 1 million inhabitants. And the first-time visitors to the bursting and colorful center often remark how clean the streets are, and a matter of pride across every community throughout the country. So Kigali is, I can say that is a relatively new city because it was founded as an administrative outpost in 1907 and became the capital city of the country at independence in 1962, which was shifting focus away from Huye. Yeah, as you're seeing it on your screen, is how beautiful our city is, and I would like to welcome you to come and see how natural and greenish the city is. The next page, please. Yeah, because we are not well connected, but I would like Lucas to read those words above. It is written that people. Yeah, we're proceeding with our historical story of what happened to our country. Ibuka is a Rwandan word which means in English to remember. The next page, please. Yeah. You can ask yourself what are we remembering, or what do we remember? Rwanda is known as a historical review of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, and I would like to let you know more about what happened to our country and the historical event of a genocide. So as we are reviewing the genocide, so over 1 million Rwandans were brutally killed in 100 days during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. It was the worst genocide of the 20th century, where it was prepared and implemented by the genocide regime, which trained you can proceed with the next page, please. Yeah, I was saying that it was the worst genocide of the 20th century, which was prepared and implemented by the genocide regime, which was trained. Interahamwe was the trained people military, which was trying to kill the federalists known as the Hutus, the Tutsis, where the Hutus was trained to kill the Tutsis, and they have been trained with such materials like machetes, clubs, spears, and other traditional weapons, with the full support of the government security force. I think, as you saw on your screen, there is a back page where there is some, as you saw, those peoples with some traditional materials like the machetes, crabs, and spears. And I would let you know that the Rwandans commemorate the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi on April 7th, which was also adopted by the United Nations as the International Day of Reflection on the genocide against the Tutsi. And can proceed with the next page, please. Yeah, as you saw on the above, there is Arsene Wenger, the former Arsenal FC coach. He was visiting our I can say he visited our commemoration center, which is located at Gisozi in Kigali, and there is a message he left when he was there. And above we saw there is the president of Republic of France, Mr. President Emmanuel Macron. He was there also country where he left also with a good message where he was accepting the interception of the country to the genocide, and where he says that there is a good I can say like a good way of preventing those what happened that will never happen again. So as Rwanda happens with those events, you can think that how those events can happen in the country where people speak the same language with the same culture. I can tell you that you can ask yourself, how does that happen and how does that conflict have been resolved? So the country rich's culture has become a source of our inspiration to craft some unconventional homegrown solutions to address the challenges and the consequences of the 1984 genocide against the Tutsi, where they include our community work and the performance contracts and our former traditional codes. And what happened in our country is a concrete example of a society that speaks the same language and has the same culture, and historical memory can be divided and made hostile enough to slaughter each other. So what I can tell you that is that today Rwanda has declared everyone as Rwandan. There is no Hutu, there is no Tutsi, there is no Twa. So instead of dividing the people as Hutu, Tutsi, or Twa, there is a cohort as Rwanda, where everyone feels like he's a Rwandan. So today Rwanda has declared everyone as Rwandan instead of dividing people. So after the Great Massacre, we try to bury that pain, but we keep it as a historical memory alive so that the aforementioned events don't happen again. So the country political and social system has been built around the purpose of not letting the genocide repeat again. Yeah, that's what I can share with you about our history or what happened in Rwanda with the genocide. The next page, please. Yeah, here we start with our animal, Metsa. You can ask yourself, what is Metsa? Metsa is a medical Students Association of Rwanda. Is a non-profit, independent, and non-governmental organization of medical students of Rwanda, which was founded in 1997, which means that in the next year we'll be celebrating our 25 years old. So you're welcome to come and join us with a celebration. And the Metsa Rwanda is an active member of International Federation of Medical Student Association, IFMSA, which is the largest organization of the international medical student. Then next, please. Yeah, it was founded in 1997, and a full member of IFMSA since 1997, and present as Rwandans student and has participated in IFMSA with the member over the. So I think you're reading it well on your screens. But what I can tell you of that, Metzer. Sorry. What I can tell you more is that Metzer have hosted many international events. For example, as you saw in 2015, they hosted the African Regional Meeting. You can see also we have hosted our Hot Health Student Symposium. As you saw, it is Scholar Exchange, but with the problem of time, I can tell you that we have hosted also the March meeting 2020, where we had I can tell you like a for a moment. Next verse, please. Yeah. So here's some of our activities that we do in Metzer. As you saw on the first page, Metzer through Scora, as you know, is a standing committee of sexual and reproductive health. Through the partnership of Huye is our city where people who comes from incomings attend the clerkship. So we Huye Youth Center, we have conducted a two days HIV screening and exhibition on the comprehensive sexuality education among students of IPRC Huye campus. IPRC Huye campus is a campus from Huye. So that's our some of activities. And the other one is with the RBC. RBC is the Rwanda Biomedical Center. So with the help of the Rwanda Biomedical Center and Metzer volunteers, we have launched a drive walk-through COVID-19 street testing survey. In 5 days, 200 samples was collected in Kigali and its suburbs. So the survey helped to understand prevalence and the pandemic and informs response efforts. So you can ask yourself, how does that happen, or how does Metzer get connections with the Rwanda Biomedical Center, or how many volunteers does Metzer have? I think you can proceed to the next page to answer the question. Next page, please. Yeah, here's the answer. Metzer got more than 500 committed members, and their higher degree of volunteers and commitment has been the cornerstone of Metzer. So our members are organized within various projects and are connected to at least one of the 6 standing committee, and the members are trained to carry out our teaching section and advocacy work about health through our society which surrounds us. The next page, please. Yeah, I can see that the time is up. Yeah. So Metzer is a Skopje active, and Metzer education in Rwanda comprises medical education in Rwanda comprises of 5 years, where in those 5 years the first 2 years are the preclinical years, that is purely theoretical, and the remaining 3 years are clinical, where the studies are mainly focused in the practical skills in the clinical hospitals. So as you saw on your screen, there's CHUB. CHUB is known as the University Teaching Hospital of Butare, which comprises many medical services like internal medicine, surgery, gynecology, and obstetrics and pediatrics. Yeah, those are the fields that people who's coming in clerkship in Rwanda can gain from our teaching hospital, just as Ibe. As you saw in the pictures below, they are students from abroad and our students who are doing the clerkship together. Next page, please. Yeah, those are some testimonies about students who visited our country. There are some testimonies talking about how they have been trained, how they enjoyed our country. Yeah, next please. Yeah, as I mentioned, there is the March meeting 2020 where there is denim from Brazil, or I fam say Brazil, and Metsa Rwanda. Next page please. Yeah, as you saw, there was President Pochlin, who is coursing, and on the other page below it is a Scope H, where they was having fun and doing well with their jobs. Yeah, next page please. Yeah, the international collaboration and the social programs. So you can ask yourself, how am I going to have fun, or a part of learning? What am I going to gain in Metsa or when visiting Rwanda? So as Brazilians have showed you, this is Arsenal FC Football Club and the PSU from France, and this is all your Brazilian player Neymar. In a way, I'm the fan of him. He's Neymar, yeah. So we have the collaboration with PSG and the Arsenal, and our debut and the Visit Rwanda campaign. Next page, please. Yeah, you can think about about our social programs, and there is you can travel to Volcanoes National Park. As you saw, there is David Ruiz, Brazilian football player, where he was accompanied by his mother and fiance. They enjoyed a 2-day trip in Rwanda, where they ran about the country, rich culture, the natural wonders, and they understand how Rwandans have united to drive from the country forward as a leading reformer in Africa. Next, please. Yeah. There goes with Akagera National Park. So Akagera National Park have I can say that have inspired conversational story. As you see it, it's a home to lions and rhinos, and it's a beautiful and convenient savanna landscape to visit, and an easy site to add on before or after visiting the gorillas. Yeah, for the park, the diversity of habitat is unique. Including lakes, marsh, savanna, mountains, and woodland makes for the spectacular scenes. I think you are looking at that picture below. There's a where Akagera is exceptional birding experience with more than 482 bird species. So I'd like you to come and see how beautiful our Akagera National Park is. Next page, please. Yeah, that was it. So Metsa is a Scope active, and you are welcome to Rwanda, the land of thousand hills, and we look forward to welcoming you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prince, for your presentation. We will now have some questions here to know more about your exchange program.
Yes, please.
Is language certificate required?
Not really, because in hospitals the main language spoken is English. As we offer many students from abroad, we can say that they are really ready to speak in Rwanda, our mother language. So we prefer that you can be ready to speak in English so that you can collaborate with our seniors and with us medical students.
The next one is, what month do you think is the best one to go on exchange?
So for us, any month for the exchange, you can come, we are ready. But because most of us are Rwandan medical students, we will be in the clerkship like from January to July. So I think that can be better, a good experience to join us, to do the clerkship with us. That can be better. But any time of the year, you can come and join us, okay?
All right. Is there a national social program in your country?
Yeah, sure they are. There are many social programs. I think, like I've mentioned, there are natural food and drink party where you can come and join us, where we present you our food, our natural foods. There is a night for culture night, silent parties, but because we're in COVID restrictions, I think we don't do normal silent parties, and they are movie nights also. Yeah, they are social programs, and you're welcome to join us.
Okay. Do you accept graduated students?
Yeah, that's a good question. As a Scopy, you can join us as an alumni, but as the intervention of all the conditions for the Scopy exchange, the graduate students, they are not allowed. But if you request us to join us as a graduated student, we can't let you go, or we can welcome you, but in another manner way. But the graduated students are welcomed, but not in a way of Scopy exchanges.
Okay, thank you, Prince, for your presence here with us. Do you want to tell the people here from Brazil something?
Yeah. So I would like to tell the people of Brazil that Rwanda is a beautiful country. It's a country which is developing, whereas we have many beautiful things to attend. We have security in our country. It's the safest place, and I would like to let you know that we are ready and we are highly used to collaborate with you, and you're welcome in our southern hills country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Então, por hoje acabou. Eu coloquei o formulário nos comentários. Então, preencham até 4h46, que é quando ele vai fechar. Semana que vem, a Exchange Fair, ela também vai ser na quarta e na quinta. A gente vai postar no Instagram da DENEM qual que vai ser a programação. Ela vai ser um pouco diferente da semana, provavelmente vai ter mais países. E o horário ele vai mudar de semana a semana por conta do fuso dos países, né? Então, prestem bastante atenção nisso quando for postado no Instagram da DENEM. Mas por hoje é isso. Obrigado pela participação.